Hi, and welcome back to Pittman's Pumpkin Patch, Pittman's Garden Patch. It's April 19th, 2014, and I'm kind of giving you an update what's going on both inside and outside. I'm just showing you the outside of my my grow light setup here. This is a Mylar blanket right here, which I have secured up around the grow light here. And again, this is a VHO grow light. Okay, and that's a very high output grow light. Puts out tons of light, tons of heat. And with this Mylar blanket, it makes this into a mini greenhouse inside. I mean, the temperatures in here get in the 80s and the 90s very easily. And sometimes I've even recorded 100 degrees when it's a little warmer in the garage. Say it's 55 degrees or something in the garage, 50 degrees in the garage. It can get to 101 degrees inside that grow light in the grow room there. So just wanted to show you that from the outside. Let me show you what's going on out here. Get a little light on the subject here. I have a California Wonder bell pepper plant there. It's got 2 bell peppers growing on. That was the one from fall of last year. Some basil down there, oregano, and Egyptian spinach right here, and another little oregano plant there, and an Egyptian spinach here, and then the pots here, here, and here. That's crookneck squash. And let me show you what's going on up here. I have different kinds of zucchinis and squash in here, in this section here. This right here is, and I can't remember the whole name, it's a very long name, but Blanc, B-L-A-N-C, I guess that's how you pronounce it, part of it is in the name. So it's a white squash with pale green stripes on it. It was a variety that was given to me by Seed Saver Exchange Company. When I ordered some seeds from them, they sent that along as sort of like a little thank you gift, a promotional thing. So they were doing that. Sorry for the noise. That's just me getting the Mylar blanket moved back a little bit. I can see that's the cotyledon leaves here, the baby ones, are starting to turn yellow here, which means that they're starting to die off, which is normal. The true leaves right here are doing just fine, and this is my healthiest one I have. I am noticing a little bit of a yellow ring on the edge there. Don't know if that's from too much water, too little water, but it's moist, so it should be okay. Notice how this leave's all crinkled up and wrinkled? I've seen stuff like that before, usually indicative of some kind of disease, maybe some kind of mosaic virus kind. And if that's the case, I'm probably just going to throw them out because that's bad news. And I see a couple others like here. Has already got it. Looks like that. I have some other leaves back here. These squash, of course, has some little pale this on the edge of this stuff, and I would really love to find out what's going on with that. That seems to happen to me every year when I grow anything in the squash and zucchini or pumpkin families. I get these leaves that start out really great, and then the edges start to get pale yellow or even a white, and then it just goes downhill. So I have different kinds of zucchinis and squash in here, and I'll see what happens. Some watermelon plants here. This is probably a Charleston Gray, and I've been wanting to transplant these. I have 5 watermelon plants in here, most of them Charleston Grays, a couple Georgia rattlesnakes that are ready to go out. I've been checking the root systems on them, and they're almost getting root bound. But our temperatures outside here in my area near the Atlantic Ocean in Virginia has not been, shall we say, favorable. I mean, you get a stretch of maybe 4 or 5 days where you'll be in the upper 60s, maybe low 70s, and you think, okay, spring's finally here, ready to go, right? And then, bam, these past 4 or 5 days here, we've been in the low 50s, maybe upper 50s, and it's been northeast winds blowing and gusting, and I've had some damage to my plants and that are already outside, and it's just crazy stuff. So nothing consistent. I have some healthy looking oregano plants here, some of my better ones. more squash mixed in and out here, some oreganos and things like that, a little bit of watermelon, different squash. I have in here Egyptian spinach, I have more basil. You know, some of this basil is ready to be used. You know, I can sit there and pinch it off, and that will promote new growth. You know, when you do your pinching on your basil, you want to pinch just, if you look under the big leaves, you know, a little bit down the stem, you'll see these little small baby leaves, usually in a cluster of 4. And you want to pinch the stem just above those little baby leaves. That way the baby leaves will start to grow out and produce more leaves for you, and it will split and cause more, even more basil leaves to be produced for you. And that's the way you can continuously harvest off of your basil. Okay, more Egyptian spinach, more watermelon in here ready to go. I have 2 pepper plants here. I start again, and what's going on? These are Hungarian tomato peppers. A student of mine, I teach first grade, a student of mine gave me these seeds from her grandfather, and those seeds came from the Seed Saver Exchange company as well. And I figured I'd just try them. I tried them earlier in the year, and I had a couple little mice get in here, and they ate up my bell pepper plants. And so I'm trying to get them again. And I got some room out in the garden for them. I got spots saved for them. And so continuing on, watermelon, and you can see a watermelon starting to grow up, sprout up right now. I had watermelon in here and here, but I still have the fungus gnat problems. You see all of this, my sticky card traps here, tons of fungus gnats. And the same with the other one on the other side, tons of them on both sides of the cards, right? Well, I just pulled, and I was recording earlier and I had some low battery stuff, but this right here, alright, see that there? No roots, right? Just a minute or 2 ago, this was sitting right in here, watermelon plant, right in there, and I just grabbed it and it came right out, just like that. And that's because fungus gnats ate the root hairs, and there was nothing holding it in, so it just pulled out like a straw out of water. So probably what I'm going to do with these 2 pots here is dump the soil, and just get rid of that soil. And you know, maybe just call it a day for that one. Call it in and not plant anything else in there for right now, because the fungus gnats have just, you know. But the thing is, they seem to only be attacking the watermelon plants. Okay, they're not attacking my basil. They're not attacking the oregano. They're not attacking the Egyptian spinach. Well, they did, I think, one of them, Egyptian spinach, earlier on. And they're not attacking the pepper plants. It seems to be only the watermelons that they're going after. Now, we'll see what happens with the squash over there. But it's just been a battle. I have some bell pepper plants back over in here, back over there. A couple chocolates and a couple purple varieties. And you see the other watermelon right there. Those were, I was going to give those away, and but they were on the small side, so I'm keeping them in here to give them a little bit more time to grow and see how that goes. And so I'm going to now take you out to my outside area. I think it might be raining outside, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it's not too hard. And I'm going to take you out there. So pardon any mess in the house. So indoors, and look, even the heater's on right now. Alright, that's how it's only supposed to get to 58 degrees. And so let's see how it is outside. Alright, make sure I don't lock myself out of the door, huh? Alright, so here we are. You can see the American flag there, you know, blowing. Temperature's not that bad. It's a very little light rain. Okay. Finally got rid of all that compost that was on my blue top front of the driveway. Finally got that out of here. Alright, but splish splash through the mud back here. And let me show you what's going on. Right, so just going to show you. These are just the buckets here. These are some pot marigold plants. That's what they're called, pot marigold. So they're hanging in. You can hear the rain hitting on the trampoline mat there. All right, and this is the raised bed last year, the 4x12, where I had my pumpkins growing last year, a bulk of them, and I'm preparing one section at a time. So this section right in here has been prepared with fertilizers, organic fertilizers, and cocoa coir. It's been mixed in there with the mushroom compost I've been bragging about in past videos. And I finished putting the other stuff down, the rest of the mushroom compost in here. And not as much as I would have liked, but hopefully it'll be enough. And I still got to come in with the cocoa coir and the fertilizer to finish off this section and this section. I'm going to be putting my watermelons in here. I'm going to be splitting this bed, I think. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to put get some watermelons in here for at least the first half. And the second half, I'm going to grow my some pumpkins in. I'm going to grow, I think I'm going to stick with the Howden. I still like those. And I'm going to show you where later on in the season I'm going to be planting some other pumpkins in a different spot. Right over here, all right, so I have some buckets that have different lettuce in and also has some strawberries in. I just had way too many strawberry plants than I had room for. I had 100 strawberry plants. I'm down to maybe 93 or so now. Some just didn't make it, and I think a couple rabbits ate a couple of the other ones. Saw a rabbit out here this morning, but anyways, strawberry plants. Here's my first bed. I mean, look at the size of some of these strawberry leaves on here, right? Just massive, pretty good size stuff, right? So, and I already got strawberries growing, okay, right here, and there's a few more right there. So strawberries are already going. So there's one bed of strawberries. Second bed, these are the big bad beds. These are fabric pots. Okay. And here's a third bed of strawberries. And I still have a fourth one I haven't shown you yet. Strawberries in the buckets, some lettuce, butter crunch, and I think it's a romaine lettuce variety. And here is a tansy plant. It's a flowering plant. It's an herb. I do not recommend using it for cooking, though. I was using it primarily last year for a deterrent against certain moths and things, but it didn't work at all. So I'm done with companion planting. In my opinion, it doesn't really work. With putting in marigolds and other things, I put all that stuff in, and it did not deter the bugs that they say that it's supposed to deter. I still had issues with those squash bugs and things like that. So I'm done with companion planting. It was just eating up my space where I could grow more fruits and vegetables and things like that. So, but this is the tansy one, and what happened was when I was cleaning out this bed the other day and everything, overturning something, there was some weeds, so I was pulling out weeds. Well, I came across this plant, and I smelled the leaves because it looked kind of familiar. I smelled the leaves, and I could definitely smell the tansy scent. If you've ever smelled tansy, there's no mistaking what it is. And so I just transplanted it out, put it in this bucket, and see what it does, just for fun, I have other buckets on the other side of those beds you can see there with more strawberries and things in. Here are my blueberries plants. I finally transplanted out this year into these big 45-gallon smart pots. These are two varieties of blueberries plants that are supposed to grow to about 7 to 8 feet tall, and so I put them in the bigger 45-gallon size pots. And you can see how I have tons of blooms. And I pruned these two earlier, back in the wintertime when they were in the dormant stage. Okay, I pruned those because it was just these plants need to be pruned some for continued growth, and you don't want different diseases and branches crossing others because that promotes diseases. So you have to prune out a little bit. All right, you can see it looks like I'm going to get a decent hopefully a decent harvest off of this one and off of here. These are growing, being more productive. This one, I might get rid of that one. Excuse me. Just not very good. And the other one should produce well. This one is giving me a lot more vegetative growth, not so much on the blossoms yet. There's some, but not as much as I would have liked. But I paid closer attention to the pH of the soil this year with these blueberries than I did previously. And over the winter, I've been adding some of the acidic lowering agents to this. And I come out a month later and I check it, and I've been keeping notes on it, and I've had good results with these acidifying agents I've been putting in and lowering it, starting at 1 month and then checking again another month, and I've had a whole point drop down on the pH scale, and others were close to a point. So I'm very satisfied with that. So main thing is going to be protecting these against the birds, because it looks like I'm going to get a healthier growth than what I did last year. So hopefully everything's going to go good with that. This is my pepper bed. Most of this is peppers in here, and there's a couple basil, sweet basils right there. I got a spot there and a spot there for those 2 bell pepper Hungarian tomato peppers plants that I showed you inside the garage. Well, they're going to go right there. Alright, so that's saved for them. What I have in here, I have 2 Bianca pepper plants, and those are the they're going to grow white peppers until they turn scarlet red. And I think the rest of these in here are sweet sunrise pepper plants, and those are going to be more of a yellowy orange. I have let's see what my tag says. Okay, so this right here, all of these are purple bell peppers, and 3 chocolate bell peppers, and those are 2 basil down. And there's basil are not looking healthy for some reason. I don't know if anybody out there might have some ideas. Maybe the cooler temperatures we've had, there shouldn't be an issue with them being sun scalded or anything. These have been used to outdoors, but you can see some of the leaves are not very healthy looking anymore. But we'll see. Oh, the blackberries. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I have some more back there. I moved my trellis system from back over there. Last year was by the red fence there, and this year I moved it closer because up there's a willow tree which provides a little too much shade in that area. So by moving them closer out this way, give them maybe an extra hour or 2 of sunlight, and hopefully that'll increase my production on them. I pruned these out over the wintertime when they were in their dormant stage. Got rid of the ones that fruited for me last year. So everything's looking better on that front. In here, I have, of course, lettuce going down the middle. And I have tomato plants, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had one further down on the end, but as I said earlier, we had a bunch of windstorms come through, and it snapped. I mean, it was one of my better, healthy-looking tomato plants, and it snapped it in half. I was so disappointed with that. And I already do have tomatoes growing. You can see right there, and I have more. And what I did was I came out and put these poles in yesterday, and I tied up the tomato plants up to them. And yes, there looks like there may be possibly some sun scalding a little bit, because I think right on there, well, those are, I don't know, a little bit, but I think they're going to be just fine. And I trimmed off a lot of these because I buried these tomato plants deeper into the soil. I had a lot more vegetation on them and lower down on the branches, but I snipped this off so I could bury it deeper and get more root growth. As you can see, more flowers and stuff in here and some. But I put this lettuce down the middle so that when these tomato plants get taller, they'll provide more shade for the lettuce and keep them from bolting as fast. And through here is my other strawberry bed. This is the ones that the rabbit felt that they were still okay, because the crowns were still had some greenage, but there's a plant that suffered, there's a plant over there that suffered, but you can see they're coming back pretty good. So they're starting to make it back. Here's my one little pot of red Russian kale, and this is my one dinosaur kale that I grew from seed and transplanted him out, and the same with these others. So they've taken root pretty good in there. And the other thing I wanted to share with you guys, though, is what you see here in the tomato bed and the pepper bed is my latest creation that's ongoing. It's my latest project, and that is this new irrigation system. Okay, and I'm not done with it yet because obviously I got to get this beds, I got to get the new ones, I got to get these fabric pots, all of these fabric pots and stuff down there done. But basically, there's the spigot over there. Okay, and I'm going to put, I do have a timer, but it's only a 1-zone timer, so I'm probably going to have to buy a new timer that has like 3 zones on it. So the hose comes out here, alright, connects into here, and this is my Boogie Blue water filter, which filters out all the harmful chlorines out of the system. And okay, and there's a special adapter here that goes from a hose fitting down to PVC, and this 3/4 inch PVC pipe is glued in on this fitting because of the pressure. Okay, but all of the other fittings, all the T-joints, all the elbows, all the ball valves, everything else in here is not, I repeat, not glued, except for down here on the end of the line, this end cap, that's glued. Okay, and I don't have any issues with the stuff popping or blowing, and I barely turn on the spigot. Okay, barely turn it on, and it's enough pressure that this waters my plants very well. What I did, there's a couple YouTube videos where I got this idea from. I can't say this is mine. I wish I could, because it's a pretty ingenious idea. Like I said, only glue fitting is down there by the filter and on the end with the end cap. Okay, and I just come in with a 1/16 drill bit. I tried a number 57 drill bit, which is just a little smaller, and I tried that, and the drill bits just kept on breaking, and one part almost shot me in the eye, but I was like, that's it, that's enough of that. So I got my 1/16 bit, and it does just fine. Okay, and you just drill into your PVC pipe where you need to water your plants from. Okay, that's all you do. Might be 2 holes, might be 3 holes, might be 4 holes, depending on how much, right? And I can control, using the ball valves, I can control the pressure, but right now I have these ball valves open full blast, and what I'm controlling the pressure with basically right now is the spigot back there. Okay, and if I needed to further control things, if I needed to, I do have on here, those are actually ball valves.